All right, hello, everyone. Welcome. You've officially made it to the right place. If you are here to learn about Virginia Tech, we're going to give just a minute or so to make sure we can get everyone logged on. Everyone can hear us okay. Probably less than a minute we'll give. Just a little bit, and then we will go ahead and get started here, but you have officially made it to the right place if you're here for Virginia Tech to learn a little bit more about their university. All right, so we will just go ahead and get started then. My name is Hannah and I am your facilitator for today or for this morning to learn a little bit more about Virginia Tech. And we just want to welcome you to the virtual college exploration for all Ohio students sponsored by the Ohio Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. So we have a great partnership going with StriveScan. We're really excited to be able to offer you all kinds of sessions to learn more about different colleges. So thank you all for joining us. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. The first one is that you can use your Q&A button at any time on your screen to type questions to our presenters at any time. So they may not answer back right away. Most likely they'll wait to the end to answer your question out loud, but just know that your questions are being seen. We just may wait to the end to answer them. The second thing I want to mention is that your camera and your microphone are off. So you're muted, your video's off, so we cannot see you, but you should be able to see and hear us. And then this is just one of many sessions that we're offering that's happening within the next few weeks. So please go ahead and check out the full schedule at oacac.org. We would love to have you attend some other sessions, learn about other universities or other college topics. They're really beneficial. And then finally, this presentation is being recorded. So if you missed something or if you have an extra question that you think maybe they answered, you're welcome to go back and watch the recording. And then all of the other sessions that we're offering are also being recorded. So you can find those at oacac.org as well. And this particular recording will be up in about a week. And that's about all I have for you. So now I'm going to turn it over to our presenter, Rich, with Virginia Tech, and he's going to take it away.
Okay, thanks, Hannah. So welcome, everybody. I very much appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us to learn a little bit more about Virginia Tech. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to run through a few PowerPoint slides, and then I'll be happy to take whatever questions you have. As Hannah said, you can put those in the chat now, and I will look at them as soon as I'm done with my presentation. So I am excited to talk to you a little bit about myself. I'm actually a Virginia Tech grad. You can tell that was a few years ago. Back in 1990, don't do the math. So I have a degree in business finance from Virginia Tech. The territories that I oversee, Pennsylvania, Ohio, which is why we're talking today, Indiana, Missouri, and then I have a chunk of Virginia for recruiting purposes as well. So I am your rep for all things Virginia Tech. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. You can always send an email to admissions@vt.edu and it'll make its way to me. And I will be happy to give my information in the Q&A as well when we're done here. So in addition to being a Virginia Tech grad, I participated in the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets, which I'll talk a little bit more about. I was in the Navy ROTC program, earned my commission in the United States Navy through that program at Tech. And then I served in the Navy for a lot of years. And when I retired from the Navy, having been around the world, there was nowhere I wanted to be more than back here in Southwest Virginia. So here I am. In my free time, I love photography, spending time with my family, hiking these Blue Ridge Mountains, and of course, watching Hokie football. So let's talk about a little bit about where Virginia Tech's located. So it's in Blacksburg, Virginia, which is in the New River Valley, once again in those Blue Ridge Mountains of Southwest Virginia. So Blacksburg is a fantastic town. It's a good sized town, very welcoming of Hokies, very safe place. Lots of amenities, so coffee shops, restaurants, all the things you could want are all right here in Blacksburg. The New River Valley is fantastic. It's surrounded on all sides by the Blue Ridge Mountains, so there's a lot of great hiking, including the Appalachian Trail, which runs from Georgia to Maine. But quite honestly, some of the best views on the Appalachian Trail are right here in Southwest Virginia. So lots of great opportunities to get outdoors. In the summertime, the New River's fantastic for tubing and kayaking. And so just lots of great things to do around here. Virginia Tech is in the town of Blacksburg. The next closest city is about 45 minutes away. That's Roanoke, which is a good sized city. Also has a lot of great amenities and fun things to do. And you're about 3 hours from Richmond, about 4.5 from Virginia Beach, and about 4 hours from DC. And so let's move on and talk a little bit more about the university. So Virginia Tech's motto is Ut Prosum. That's Latin for that I may serve. Now, lots of colleges and universities have mottos, but I will tell you that Virginia Tech's is very important to us for several reasons. So first, it's a big part of our history and our tradition, which we'll talk about, but it's also who we are as an institution today. We're constantly looking at ways that we can serve our community and serve our world. And consequently, we're looking for that from our students. So we have some examples here. The gentleman at the top of the slide is an undergraduate science student, and he's doing COVID research. So as an undergraduate at Virginia Tech, you do have the opportunity to do real research that really matters. On the left-hand side, we have last year's homecoming queen. And I will tell you that the homecoming court is chosen not just because of good looks and that kind of thing, but they run on a platform of service. So once again, service is important. So the lady on the left, she raised a lot of money for Hurricane Maria survivors. You may recall that Hurricane Maria was a Category 5 hurricane that devastated portions of Puerto Rico. And so she set up a fundraising event to raise a lot of money for them. And then on the bottom, we've got one of our cadets. So I mentioned already the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets. That's one of 2 Corps of Cadets in the country that are inside a civilian university. It's a big part of our tradition and history. We were founded in 1872 as a military school. And so that military heritage continues on with our Corps of Cadets. So all of our ROTC students are part of the Corps, but it's also available to those that are interested in that training without joining the military. So we have a citizen leader track that allows you to participate fully in the Corps Cadets, including all those leadership positions and all that training. And at the end of the 4 years, when you graduate, you do not have any sort of requirement to be part of the military. But what you will find is that leadership training, that military training will help you immensely in finding a job. Those cadets are very much in demand when they graduate. So Hokie Nation, what we mean by Hokie Nation is that the minute you step foot on campus as a student, you're a Hokie for life. And what does that mean? Well, that means that while you're here, we're going to take care of each other. We provide a world-class education on a very safe campus in a very safe part of Virginia. And we're very proud of what we offer. What you'll discover is that while you're here, you're going to make lifelong friends. You're going to get a world-class education. And when it's time for you to graduate, you'll find that Hokies hire Hokies. So we have alum around the world and around the country working for virtually every industry that exists. And when they look to hire, they look to come back to Blacksburg and hire Hokies. Quick example, gentleman who has his aerospace engineering degree from Virginia Tech is now in a position where he hires engineers for SpaceX. When he's looking for an engineer, he doesn't go to Caltech, he doesn't go to MIT, he comes to Blacksburg to find a Virginia Tech grad. So this is a snapshot of this year's freshman class, as well as some other fun facts about Virginia Tech. So you can see we had 6,780 enrolled freshmen this year. That's about what we expected. So we've had very little impact as far as numbers go with COVID. So we have been back in person doing classes for about 2 months. We've had a couple of minor spikes, but quite honestly, about what we expected. But the students have done a phenomenal job of following protocols, wearing masks, maintaining distance, and that's allowed us to do in-person as well as virtual classes. And we're very proud of how successful that's gone. So you can see the top 5 states outside of Virginia. It's mainly the states that border Virginia, but we also have a lot of students that come from Ohio, and we're super excited for that opportunity. The top 5 majors are listed there. General engineering is always #1. Business, biology, architecture, and psychology round out that top 5. And we're going to talk a little bit more about all of those majors in our colleges here in a minute. The last thing I want to point out on this slide is that we have 30,000 undergraduates and 6,000 graduate students. So we are a large university. So you get the benefits of that large university. But I will tell you that it doesn't have that large university feel. My experience as a Hokie and all of the students that are currently there that I've talked to agree with me that it doesn't feel that big. You're going to get super involved in your major and in your organizations that you're passionate about. And we have over 900 on campus. And we'll talk a little bit more about those here in a minute. And it's just not going to feel like that big a school. So let's get into those degrees. At Virginia Tech, we say that major matters. And what we mean by that is that when you apply to Virginia Tech, you're going to apply for a single degree program within a particular college. And so just one, so pick your top one, and that's what you'll apply for. So let's dig into those. First up is our College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. So this is a fantastic school for anything to do with agribusiness, anything to do with animal science, anything to do with poultry science, dairy science. Additionally, our biochemistry program is here. A lot of our pre-vet and pre-med students will find degree programs within this college. And on the topic of pre-vet, we have a very strong relationship with our veterinary school on campus. And specifically, the animal sciences degree program aligns very well with the vet school. And there's actually a program that allows you to apply your junior year to vet school and start a dual enrollment process with the vet school. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So next up is our College of Architecture and Urban Studies. So architecture is one of our most popular degree programs, and it is one of our most competitive for two reasons. It's ranked number 4 in the country for architecture programs, and they have a very small freshman class because they very much have a studio atmosphere. So they keep very small classes, so there's a lot of interaction and collaboration between the students and faculty. It is a 5-year degree program for architecture. At the end of 5 years, you have your degree as well as a license to practice. So you're ready to work day one. Some of the other programs that are also popular within this college, landscape architecture, which if you think of the architect as designing the building, the landscape architect designs all of the outdoor spaces. So think city parks, state parks, any big business that has a fancy outdoor space like a Google or a Microsoft, those are all designed by landscape architects. Industrial design is another very popular program in our college here, as well as interior design and graphic design. Next is our College of Engineering. As I said, everybody applies to a particular degree program, including our College of Engineering, where you could study aerospace, civil, mechanical, computer science, computer engineering, biomedical engineering. So a lot going on. You do pick a particular degree program, but everybody starts off their freshman year in general engineering. So they're all taking those same core courses and being exposed to the different types of engineering. And then at the end of your freshman year, as long as you have at least a 3.0, you're guaranteed admission into your first choice of engineering fields. The only exception is the biomedical engineering program has an interview process, so that one's not guaranteed. Next up is our College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences. So this is a big college because it covers a lot of different topics. So everything from foreign languages, where we offer languages you may have at your high school, as well as some you may not, like Mandarin, Japanese, Russian, and Arabic this year. Across the rest of the humanities, we obviously have English and literature, we have political science, international relations, national security affairs, we have music, we have theater, so a lot going on. And then over on the human sciences side, we also have degree programs such as sociology and childhood development, which is a great path for teachers. Next up is our College of Natural Resources and the Environment. This is a much smaller college. It is the #1 natural resources college in the country, 3 years running. So we're very proud of that. If you're interested in a degree in forestry, in fisheries, wildlife, anything to do with the Park Service, this can be a great path. There's also several degree programs for environmental issues, including one that specifically uses big data. So the role of data analytics as it applies to environmental issues. There's also meteorology and geography within this college, so a lot going on. There's also a sustainable packaging degree program and sustainable building. So a great career choice. Sustainable packaging degree grads make lots of money because, of course, that's a huge part of our world today, is ordering everything online. Next up is our College of Business. So this is where I got my degree in business finance from. We do offer degrees in finance, management, marketing, accounting, those kinds of things. There's a few degree programs that are outside the norm that I like to highlight. We have the #3 undergraduate real estate program in the country. We also have a hospitality and tourism degree that's internationally ranked, very popular degree program for anyone that is interested in the hotel industry or resorts, anything to do with tourism or travel, a great path. And then finally, BIT, Business Information Technology, is a very popular program that melds together the computer science and business ideas. And students actually have the opportunity to specialize in certain challenging topics like cybersecurity and supply chain management. The last college at the undergraduate level to talk about is our College of Science. So our College of Science covers, once again, a lot of material, everything from biology, which is in our top 5 this year of degrees, always a very popular degree program, chemistry, physics, economics, mathematics, psychology, which is also in our top 5, another very popular program, as well as neuroscience and nanotechnology. And as I said, lots of opportunities for undergraduates to be a part of actual research that matters here at Tech. And the reason I emphasize that is a lot of colleges, you really have to be at the master's level to do real research. But at Virginia Tech, we view that differently. Okay, so we've gone through these 7 colleges and a bunch of different majors, but you're thinking, wait a minute, I'm not sure I figured out which college at Tech I want to apply to or which major. We have a university studies option that allows you to apply to Tech without choosing a major or a college. And then you start taking classes and work with mentors to figure out your path. But I'm going to recommend a different option. If you're still working out which degree you're interested in, I would recommend that you at least narrow it down to a college. And each of our colleges have an undecided major option that you can choose. So if you can narrow it down to business or engineering or architecture, any of those schools, they do have an undecided option that allows you to get in, start taking those core college classes, and then figure out which major makes the most sense for you. There are more seats available for those options than there are for the university studies. So that's why I recommend that option. So 2 schools I want to touch on briefly that are associated with Tech. First is the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine. So this is a fairly new medical school in Roanoke, about 45 minutes away, that graduates about 45 doctors a year. They enjoy a 100% placement rate, so it's a very successful school. If you are interested in a path that leads to a medical degree, Virginia Tech is a great choice for undergraduate. We have several degree programs that align well with pre-med, as well as pre-med mentors on campus and clubs for you to be a part of to make sure that you're taking the right coursework to make you competitive for medical school. If your path is more towards veterinary medicine, we have the Virginia Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine right on campus. And as I said, very close ties. And once again, lots of degree programs that align well with pre-vet, as well as mentors on campus and clubs, including clubs that are linked directly with our vet school. So just a great path if you are interested in going to vet school down the road. So we're going to switch gears and talk about our admissions process. So we do have a holistic review for that process where we look at your academics, we look at the personal information you provide to make the decision on admission. So I'll break that down for you and tell you how that works. So first, this year we are on Common App and Coalition. So we don't have a preference. Either one of those is fine for you to apply to Virginia Tech. In addition to that application, you're going to fill out a separate online self-reported academic record, which is a list of your classes and your grades. And we're going to overview all of that for academic rigor. So what does that mean? Well, we're less concerned with GPA and class standings because we understand those can vary dramatically school to school. And we're more concerned with what classes you've taken and what your grades are in those classes. So no surprise, we're looking for mostly A's and B's, and we're looking for you to take the most challenging coursework that's available at your school. So if that's advanced placement, international baccalaureate, dual enrollment, then we're looking for you to have taken those classes. Especially if you're looking at a STEM degree, then we're looking for you to take those advanced math and science classes. So think chemistry, physics, and calculus. We are test optional this year. And so what that means is that if you've taken the ACT or the SAT and you're happy with your scores, then by all means submit them with your application and we'll consider them as part of that overall holistic process. If on the other hand, you have not had the chance to take those tests or you're not happy with your scores, then you can simply choose test optional. We'll review your application and all your data without those test scores and we'll move forward. We don't accept any other sort of outside material. So no recommendation letters or resumes. We also don't accept portfolios and there are no interviews required at Virginia Tech. The only exception is if you are interested in pursuing a music degree, there is a performance that you have to submit. So there's an interview for that process, if you will. So before we move on to our 4 short essay questions, I want to touch briefly on extracurricular activities. So Virginia Tech does review your extracurricular activities on either Common App or Coalition, and we would ask you to give as much detail as you can about that process and what extracurriculars you've participated in. So if you've done athletics, then we would ask you to give us obviously the details of the sport, the details of your positions you played, those kinds of things. If it's an organization on campus, then what your role within that organization's been, positions you've held, accomplishments of the organization. Same thing for outside organizations. Just as much detail as you can provide to tell us what's going on. So and that can be also things like work. So if you've worked a job, then that's also extracurricular, and we want to know as much about that as possible. So just as much detail as you can give us would be very helpful for us in making our decision. So let's move on to those essay questions. So we don't accept the Common App or Coalition essay question. We have 4 short essay questions that we ask instead that are part of both Common App and Coalition. And those are called our ut prosum questions. So once again, back to our motto of service, and they are short essay answers. So each of them is about a paragraph to answer. So not very long. And once again, they deal with service, resilience, leadership, and long-term goals. So we would ask you to spend a little bit of time going over these and give your best answer, keeping in mind that it can be challenging to write a shorter answer sometimes. But these give us a good insight into you as a person. So deadlines for applying. So our early decision deadline is already just passed, and that is our binding degree or binding decision. So we'll move on to early action, which is still available through 1 December is the application deadline. This one is our priority deadline. It's the one that we recommend at this point. It is the best option for applying to Virginia Tech. You apply by December 1st, we let you know by late February. And we do fill the majority of our most popular major seats with early decision and early action. So we don't recommend the regular admission process because it is space available, and you will find that most of the more popular degree programs are already filled. So regardless of how good a record you have, you could find yourself waitlisted in this situation. So we do recommend early action is the best way to apply. Our transfer portal for spring has just closed back in October 1st. Our summer and fall transfer window is March 1st rather, and we'll let you know by mid-April. So if you are a transfer student, we have special procedures that you can go through, and we have lots of help available. So feel free to reach out to anyone in Virginia Tech admissions, and we'll help with that process. So scholarships and financial aid, Virginia Tech does offer a variety of scholarships. 2 forms you need to be aware of to fill out to apply. So first is that FAFSA form, that federal financial aid form. You fill that one out as a prerequisite to fill out our general scholarship application. So we do need both those forms if you want to compete for Virginia Tech scholarships. We do have scholarships based on need and merit, as well as some that are based on the degree program that you choose, and some are even based on high school that you went to. We do ask for both of those forms to be complete and submitted by the 22nd of January. That aligns well with our admissions process to make sure that you have a good understanding of financial aid and scholarships as you're making your decision about school. So our cost, Virginia Tech has worked hard to maintain our affordability, including freezing tuition this year. Our in-state tuition and fees are $13,600 with room and board comes in at about $23,000, and our out-of-state tuition and fees is $32,800 with room and board comes in at about $42,000 per year. So my hope is that I've already given you some great reasons why Virginia Tech, but I got a few more to finish up. First, we are virtually double the national average for graduation rate. We're very proud of that. We think that's because we're providing degree programs students want, and we're providing the supports they need to be successful. When they do walk across that stage to take their degree, they will have a job waiting for them on the other side, or they will have already been accepted to that next higher level of education. Our average starting salary has actually gone up. It's about $62,000 a year, and that can vary dramatically based on major. Obviously, STEM majors can anticipate higher starting salaries. And then finally, our retention rate is 93% from freshman year to sophomore year. So I think that's really important, because what that tells us is that 93% of our students have successfully made that transition from high school to college. They've found a major they enjoy. They found professors that are challenging their way of thinking. They found clubs and organizations on campus they're passionate to be a part of. They've found friends for life, and they've found a home at Virginia Tech. I want to talk for just a second about the clubs and organizations. So as I said, over 900 on campus, and that's everything from intramural sports to club sports to service organizations to Greek life to cultural organizations to major specific organizations. Just all kinds of great opportunities to get involved at Tech, and we're super proud of all of those options. So how do you apply? You go to vt.edu/apply. You choose Coalition or Common App. We don't care which. And you should always feel free to reach out if you have any questions about the process. And finally, I would ask for you to follow us on social media. If you're on any of these platforms, it's a great way to keep up with what's happening at Tech. especially on Facebook, lots of updates on what's happening, upcoming events, upcoming deadlines, good reminders of what's happening. And we do a lot of student takeovers on all these platforms, so you get to hear from the actual students what's happening on campus. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and see what questions we have. Looks like we don't have any at the moment. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them.
All right, Rich, we do have a little bit more time. Did you want to show a video?
Sure.
You were thinking about that? Okay, go ahead and do that. You can share your screen. We do have a little bit more time, so you're totally fine.
Okay. Okay, are you seeing the video?
Yes, I see it.
Okay.
Virginia Tech, Metallica is in your house. Hokie Nation, we're ready to go to work. Are you ready to go to work? That's right. You have supported Metallica for so long. We appreciate you. We're here to support you. Hokie Nation, start jumping.
Okay, so I don't think that was the best quality, but hopefully you all got a sense for what it's like at Virginia Tech when we're all able to be in the stadium. So one thing that's interesting about when we do start jumping at Virginia Tech is that we actually show up on the Richter scale. So we're actually a seismic event, which I think is a first in college athletics. So thanks for the opportunity to talk to you all today, and thank you for letting me show you that video.
Yeah, the video definitely made me miss all of our large crowd events for sure. Like it definitely, I wish I was could be in a stadium this year for sure. So
Yeah.
All right, we will go ahead and wrap up here then. Thank you so much, Rich. I actually learned a lot. I myself am a rep from another school, so I always love learning about other schools, and I learned a lot about Virginia Tech that I did not know. So thanks for sharing.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to get my PowerPoint to switch here. Here we go. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us. We really appreciate your time, and we know that life is crazy right now, so we definitely appreciate you taking the time to come and learn more about Virginia Tech. When we close the window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We really appreciate any feedback that you can provide for us, so go ahead and complete that survey if possible. And then once again, this is one of just many of the sessions that we are hosting through the Ohio Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. So once again, we have a great partnership going, and we have a lot of different sessions that you can attend. So go ahead and check all of those out at oacac.org. And then in about a week, you'll be able to find this session recording online as well at oacac.org. And that's about all I have for y'all. So enjoy the rest of your day, and definitely reach out to Rich if you all have any other questions. Thanks, y'all.